So out of all three of them, what's your favourite Captain Phasma moment?
Where she silently falls to her death at the climax of a really unsatisfying fight scene. Captain Phasma is the Boba Fett of the new Star Wars trilogy, in that she's a character who seemingly exists just to stand in the background of shots looking cool. A fact supported by numerous pieces of Star Wars Extended Universe media, which establishes that Captain Phasma's distinctive chrome armour serves no real practical purpose beyond looking cool.
Well, her armour is obviously unique. There must be, I guess, an origin story for it.
Of course there is, because if you delve into the literary equivalent of a Sarlacc pit known as the Star Wars Extended Universe, it tells you where the armour comes from. But the thing to note is that Captain Phasma's armour, as unique as it looks, is literally just regular Stormtrooper armour that is also chrome. Something that's more evident if you put together a photo of Captain Phasma and a photo of a regular Stormtrooper. You'll look that the armour is literally, it's exactly the same, save for the fact that Captain Phasma's looks more baller. And obviously she chose to accessorise hers with a cape, which is made of an in-universe material known as armour weave, which I think is just code for cool looking material that swishes about all nice and satisfying like.
Do you know whether Captain Phasma was all CGI?
No, it's all real.
Just because, that armour must be a bitch to get the camera crew out of.
Oh yeah, well, the thing is, Captain Phasma's character was added late in development of The Force Awakens, so I think it was made of polished steel in the first movie, and in The Last Jedi, it was actually made of chrome, but between scenes, they had to buff the fuck out of it, and I'm fairly certain they had to just polish it like turtle wax. So I'm just now imagining just Gwendolyn Christie stood off set, there's people just buffing her, she's like Brienne of Tarth. You've got to be Podrick. You've got Captain Phasma's equivalent of Podrick between shots, just constantly just polishing and buffing her arm. Going, "You right, my lady? Are you ready to go?" Just Captain Phasma's got her own Podrick, and he's also got a giant dong.
What are you saying? These ladies enjoyed him so much they gave him the time for free?
Is that what you're telling us?
It would be really bad if he, I'm not saying that he's got a small penis, but if it's not as big as the show says.
That's what I mean, yeah. He's literally now exclusively known in the sphere of pop culture for playing a character with a giant world-destroying dong.
Well, have you ever seen episodes?
No.
So there's an episode of that, obviously because it's starring Matt LeBlanc as a fake version of himself.
Okay.
Where it's revealed that he has a monster cock.
He showed me his cock.
Why?
Because it's enormous. Like a sea creature. Like something out of Jules Verne.
And I found out recently watching interviews that Matt LeBlanc had to approve everything that went in that show. Do you reckon that means that Matt LeBlanc does have a monster cock?
I don't know, maybe.
Because why would he be happy with that going out there? Because I think I'm not sure if he's single at the moment, but he must have gone
Have you seen what he looks like now? That man's not single. that man is he's far fucking wide. He's he can say, it's Game of Thrones, he can bang Daenerys if he wants. So you put the clip in of him doing the "How you doing" at 50 fucking years old to Emilia Clarke, and Emilia Clarke goes, he's got it in real life.
Yeah, how you doing?
So Captain Phasma's armour, it looks different, but it's functionally identical to every other Stormtrooper.
Basically, save for a single modification noted in one of the Extended Universe reference books that says Captain Phasma customized the gauntlets to her armour to facilitate crushing things and strangling people. So canonically, in Star Wars universe, Captain Phasma spent an entire day tinkering with her gauntlets to make strangling her subordinates easier. It's you just gotta respect someone who's like that, haven't you? It reminds me a lot of Darth Vader. Have you ever heard the story of Darth Vader's left hand?
No.
So where in universe, I think it's part of the Star Wars Legend canon now, which is the canon that Disney deleted. But the other hand that gets cut off Darth Vader, it says that hand is wearing something known as a Mandalorian Crush Gaunt, which is supposedly with a Sith talisman that makes it indestructible. And that's the reason that Darth Vader can choke people so hard, because this gauntlet's apparently indestructible and purpose-made for choking. And it turns out in the extended universe, that glove falls into the hand of a space warlord who uses it to rule the part of the galaxy with an iron fist.
I thought Darth Vader choked people with his mind.
Exactly, that's why it's so stupid. He strangles people with his mind, but he still needs to wear a specially made pimp glove for also strangling people. And Captain Phasma's done the same shit with her armour. She customised it to just strangle people.
However, are there any scenes in the movies where she strangles anyone?
No.
What a wasted character.
What a fucking waste, eh? The coolest looking character they've ever introduced, and she falls down a pit of fire. They literally throw that character in the trash in the first movie she appears in. That's how bad it is. Like, she's so fucking cool. And she got added so late in development. Originally, she was supposed to be a man. And then loads of people went, but there's no women in this movie, save for like one character. And Princess Leia in a cameo. I went, oh, that's a good point. Okay, Captain Phasma's a woman now. And I believe in a novel titled simply Phasma, from which most of the information we're talking about today was gleaned. Phasma herself notes that the reason I love like stormtrooper armour and a later special armour that I made for myself is because like it forces people to judge me by my rank and my skill instead of my gender. Because it's establishing that it's like the First Order only very recently started letting female stormtroopers like join. Because apparently women want to be space Nazis too. Who the fuck knew?
So Captain Phasma's shiny armour,
yes,
it must be made of something different at least.
Yes, a metal in the Star Wars universe known as chromium, which is apparently like more resistant to blaster fire than the stuff regular Stormtrooper armour is made of, I guess, but we never really see that displayed in any of the movies.
Do we know what regular Stormtrooper armour is made of?
Plastoid.
That's not a real word.
It is in the Star Wars universe, and that's why all the Stormtrooper armour looks like cheap plastic. It's not cheap plastic, folks, it's plastoid. Oh. And you can find the description on Wikipedia, which is actually what it's called, I'm not fucking kidding, where like they describe what plastoid is, and it's like, oh, it's a extra strong polymer capable of deflecting light blaster bolts. Smash cut to Ewoks literally caving in the skulls of Stormtroopers with rocks. And
Yeah, but they might be like rockoid. Like a special rock material.
A fucking rock on.
So this wouldn't be a Star Wars character without a ridiculous amount of backstory.
Yeah, a convoluted backstory that is completely unnecessary. And Phasma's takes place in a novel titled simply Phasma, in which it's revealed that after joining the First Order, it's actually like, she kind of likes wearing Stormtrooper armour, Phasma makes a beeline for her home planet of Parnassus, I believe it's called, which is a cruel and barren world notable only really in the Star Wars universe for being a irradiated shithole.
So why does she return to Parnassus?
Because she recalls an incident in her youth where she saw an Imperial ship crash land on a part of the planet that nobody ever goes. So she goes there to track it down, to basically rip it apart with her bare hands. She treks across the irradiated, barren hellscape known as Parnassus while killing everyone in her path, so no one there can tell people that she was there and what she was doing, and goes and finds the ship, which ends up being, fun fact, Emperor Palpatine's personal Naboo yacht. Which means she goes and finds Emperor Palpatine's fucking party yacht, and then she proceeds to tear it apart with her bare hands in full armour under the blazing sun and drag it back piece by piece to her ship. Which means that she walked across the desert when she had a ship.
Do we know anything about Palpatine's like sex yacht?
No, we don't. Like the only thing we know about is that it used to be his. And the reason Phasma like tears it apart is because she sees like it's a symbol of like the Imperial's past power, and that's why she wants it. But at the same time, like it's never really explored or commented upon that Emperor Palpatine owned a yacht, because I don't really see that guy as like the pleasure cruise kind of dude.
So how do the pieces of the Emperor's sex ship?
Yeah, that's what we call it. It's officially known in canon as the sex ship. It's not, but I'm calling it that.
How do they become her armour?
What she does, she drags these pieces of the ship to her ship, and then she flies to a planet with a machine lab on it capable of replicating anything put into it with another material put into it. And what she does, she puts a piece of chromium into it and then takes off her armour piece by piece, puts it into the machine, and then the piece of the armour replicated with this new chrome material. And then what she does, she takes out all the electronics and stuff from the inside and then fits it to the new pieces of armour and then puts that on. And the reason that I think that, that Captain Phasma did this purely to look cool is because do you know what the first thing Phasma notices about this armour? Not that it fits better, not that it feels stronger or lighter, or that she thinks it'd be like, a hardier material. She says, the first thing I've noticed is that the cape that I normally wear swishes across the front more satisfyingly because the chrome is smoother than the plastic. That's it. That's literally the first thing she notices. That the cape she wears for style just looks cooler. So basically, Captain Phasma went to like an irradiated shithole of a planet and punched apart Emperor Palpatine's personal sex yacht just to pimp out her stormtrooper armor. And you know what? That's a character I fucking respect.
So she basically just did Pimp My Ride, but with her armour.
Yeah, so she got a set of stormtrooper armour and just like literally just chromed it the fuck out to look cool. And I say we like run with that idea and we get a picture of Captain Phasma behind me and we do what we normally like to do in the channel. We create a monstrosity using Photoshop. And I'm going to say, like, because Captain Phasma, she did this for intimidation and to like be noticeable on the battlefield. Like, there's a reason she always walks behind people dramatically and stands in a doorway, because she casts an imposing silhouette due to her height. So let's run with that and think, how can we make Captain Phasma's silhouette in a doorway look even more terrifying? So I say, we start from the top, and how do we make that Stormtrooper helmet just look more badass and bodacious? Like when she's cutting a shadow in the back. Do you know the scene with Finn taking the helmet off?
Yeah.
What would have been more terrifying to see just walk fucking behind him?
Well, she needs something to make the silhouette taller, I think.
Yes.
She's tall, but she needs to be taller.
Yes, so I'm thinking maybe some devil horns, some big dumb devil horns.
Or something more excessive, like the one in, was it the Hellas?
Oh, the big Hella spikes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big
Well,
Hella...
from the end, where she's got lots of them.
Yeah, so the big Hella spikes coming all the way out of the helmet. Right. So we've got the helmet and we go a bit further down, shoulders. I'm thinking some big, dumb, Soulcalibur, Siegfried Crystal Armor-esque pauldrons coming out the fucking side. So she's like 4 foot wide and looks like a Dorito. I say we go for them.
And I reckon that down both of her arms, spikes.
No, the armour of thorns from Dark Souls.
Right.
Which is basically just armour covered in hundreds and hundreds of spikes. Oh yeah, and then on the end of her fist, Wolverine's claws. So then she's got knife hands, which is even scarier. So in her hand, she has like, Captain Phasma's staff, but a staff's cool, but I don't think a staff casts a very imposing, intimidating silhouette. So what weapon can she be holding that's way more fucking terrifying?
I'm thinking Pyramid Head's weapon.
The Great Knife.
Yeah.
Pyramid's Great Knife. Fuck it, give her that. Okay, so we've got weapons, hands, shoulders. Like in the general midsection here, around here, I'm guessing on like the Photoshop behind me, there's not much you can do with that to impact her silhouette. So I say we give her like a big, dumb, like nightmare-esque eye right in the fucking middle, just staring at people, the intimidation factor. And then over one shoulder, she wears like, her armor weave cape, which is cool, but I think it'd be more stylish. So I say we give her King's cape from Tekken fucking 7. Like the big wrestling cape that's fur-lined. So she's like, people know, in addition to being threatening, she's styling and or potentially profiling. So we've got all the way to when you get to the midsection here. What can we do here?
The utility belt from Batman.
Okay, but it's got to be the one from Batman Forever with a big dumb Batman logo on it.
Okay.
So people fucking know. And then the legs. What can we do with the legs?
Now, I'm thinking Lucio's legs, so she can wall ride. And those things look pretty
Okay,
beefy.
yeah, give her Lucio's legs so she's got the thing so she can battle. You know what we've just created now? Death. Like, why invest in a Death Star again when you got this? Just send that out to the battlefield, you'll win. Yeah, unless you just hit it with a stick and she falls into a pit silently.